everybody, this is Threshold Training's workout of the day for Thursday, June 24th. We have a couple different parts. We're going to go into a strength portion up front, and then we're going to get into a sweaty portion at the end that's mainly focused on kind of threshold training, no pun intended. We are going to do 4 sets of a 6 deadlifts progression in class. Our goal is to build to a moderately heavy set and just expose ourselves to some heavier loads than we've been doing, and expose ourselves to hinging-like patterns such as the deadlift. We're going to start to incorporate these a little more as a foundation for our basic strength. We have 90 seconds of rest in between each. We're going to allow you a couple warm-up sets to get started and to practice the pattern. If you are at home, we're doing 4 sets of 12 Rdls, so slightly different variations in deadlifts in general, and then 6 per side of a side plank with a top leg march. You will also have a 90-second rest between sets to fully recover. So, deadlifts in class. With the barbell, we will address the barbell so that the barbell is over our laces, kind of our midfoot area. So a couple of key things we need to note. Thing one is we are addressing the bar with vertical shins so that our knees are not over our toes and we're not falling into a squat pattern. Okay, this is truly a fold at the waist. Okay, and then from here, our shoulders are pulled down towards our hips this way. We're squeezed together. There's tension through the shoulders to reinforce the upper back. You can bring your chin level, and then we're going to push through our feet to get our hips underneath the shoulder and our shoulders behind the bar. When we're doing multiple reps, instead of just one, we also need to think about how we approach the floor as we go down. Hips are the first to move. Shoulders come over the toes. As you start passing the knees, we can start to lower the hips slightly to the ground, but our chest is just slightly above our hips versus our hips being above our chest. And we start to round the back to reach the floor. Rdls, for at-home variation, they're going to start at our waist. You can use a weighted backpack, weighted duffel bag, or a dumbbell. I'm going to have a soft bend in my knees. I'm going to push my hips back as far as I can as I lower the dumbbell down. Once I feel like I can't go any further without rounding my back or losing tension in my shoulders, I'm going to come back up. So there's only so far I can bend at the hips before I need to get the range of motion elsewhere. So we're going to take ourselves to that threshold, and we'll come back up to standing. Then, for the at-home variation, we'll adopt that side plank position, either on our hand or elbow, or on our knees, or on our feet. So, or like so. Either way, we're going to hold this position with our hips stacked over each other, okay? Not rolled back behind us. So both of our hips should feel like they're in line. And then we're going to march that top leg up and down 6 times. We're trying not to let the top leg influence what's going on with our hips. So as I bring and march that top leg, I'm not rolling backwards, okay, or I'm not sinking towards the ground. I'll do 6 on one side, I'll flip over, do 6 on the other side. From here, we're going to go to our sweaty portion, 3 rounds for max reps. We're looking for 85 to 90% effort, okay? A sustainably hard pace, but borders on the threshold of unsustainable towards the end. So we have 1 minute max rep wall balls in class, or if you're doing an in-person class. At home, we're doing goblet squats or air squats or a variation thereof. Into 1 minute of max rep box jumps, or step ups, or broad jumps, into 1 minute of max calories on the rower, or shuttle sprints with a 10-meter distance, okay? Or jump rope if you have it, or jumping jacks or something similar. you have a treadmill, 1 minute max distance, and then we have a 1 minute rest. So wall ball, box jump, calorie row, rest. Notice that we go from one movement to the next, so there won't be any kind of rest transition. We'll just go from one to the other. If we don't have enough rowers in class, we can certainly sub in the air bike, your guys' favorite. If you're at home doing the shuttle sprints instead of the rower, the jump ropes, or the jumping jacks, measure out a 10-meter distance. I would just walk 20 steps from a point A to a point B, and that'll be your 10-meter distance. Count every length, not lap, as a rep, and see if you can get a consistent number. Couple notes for wall balls. Make sure that you are arms width away from your target. That way you have a good trajectory of the ball so it can bounce back at you. And as you're catching that ball like it's an egg, right? So you're gonna give with it into the squat versus catching it with stiff arms, stiff legs, and then trying to squat. Goblet squats, make sure that when you're holding the weight there, the weight doesn't influence your torso angle, so that as you squat, it doesn't pull you so far forward over your toes that we're squatting here. Okay? Use it to reinforce a tall chest angle, torso angle. For our box jumps or broad jumps, okay, we're jumping onto the box, standing tall, or you can step down or jump down, or we're stepping up to that box, alternating legs. All right, that is today's workout. Have a great workout and an awesome Thursday.